What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Hipo Supercoach, and tonight we're going to be going over the Thursday night match. Sorry, Friday night match. North v Carlton, so Carlton got up, which is good. Bit of an ordinary game at times. Mitch McGovern copped an injury, heavily corked hamstring, and he got subbed out. Okay, actually played really well, 124. I really think he would have been a good pick last year, which is frustrating because I started him. So we'll start with North. So the Shees Meister, absolute pick of a man, just dominant. I mean, what is he had? 37 touches, 111. Another unreal score for him, proving that he is more than likely going to be a keeper, provided that he stays in the back line. LDU, so I brought him in this week. He had 30 touches, 102. Had a few clangers, 12 of them were contested, and he had 20 of them being handballs, which was a bit frustrating, to be honest. I thought he really never got into the game. He had 30 touches, but I don't know, he wasn't really, he had the one tackle, and I'd like to see a bit more from him. I don't know if he's still got the calf issue, because he didn't look like he was sprinting very much. Another thing is they put some time into him at stoppages, so I saw Hewitt and Curnow going to him, so I don't think he shook I think it was a hard tag. It was just more like some little bit of attention. So it was still annoying nonetheless. Probably stopped him from going 110, 120. But we'll take it. 1 or 2, it is what it is. Oliver will probably go twice as big this week and probably get that decision wrong. But you know what? I still back LDU in to be a top 8 mid. Carlton's not an easy mid to score against. Jack Siebel, 92. So pretty good. I think just those really costly free kicks against. He's a fucking idiot, man. Why did he do either of those things? The 50 was stupid as fuck, and the tackle, or the grabbing Charlie Curnow's fucking dick was, was just as stupid. So that's probably minus 15 odd points there. Stops him from going that, 107. So I'm not worried about Zeeble at all. 2 games without Tunning, but it is what it is. He's going to make plenty of money. He might not be a keeper, but I think for the majority of the season, we'll have him in our sides. So, yeah, don't be worried about Zeeble. He'll be fine. Just the 7 clangers, so that really hurt him. Will Phillips. So I ended up bailing on Phillips. I don't know how I feel about this. And I went with Roaston. I just think Roaston's job security is a little bit better. I checked GWS's injury list. Perryman's still a few weeks away. I think 4 to 6 weeks, I think they said. Or 3 to 6 weeks. So I think that gives Roaston enough time to make a bit of coin. Therefore, I went Roaston instead, and he's got the CBA role, whereas Phillips actually got a few CBAs, I think, but just don't know about his job security, unfortunately. I think one bad game he's probably dropped. I don't think he played bad tonight. I think he holds his spot, but Phillips or Roaston, instead of just take a fucking gamble at this point. I think that's pretty much it from North. If he started Ben Cunnington, he'd been pretty stiff, got subbed out. I'm not actually sure what happened to him. They reckon it was a tactical sub, I think. So, interesting there. But, he's just a bit old and his body doesn't look quite right. Still a good player, but, his body, I think, just let him down at the moment, which is a bit of a shame and really unlucky for anyone that picked him to start the season. I think we've talked about everyone relevant at North. Let's talk about Carlton now. So, Patrick Cripps, another pretty big game. 29 touches, 23 of them handballs, which isn't great. Went at the 79%, but 22 contested, and that's what really brings his score up. 9 clearances as well, doesn't hurt it too badly. So he's one that's definitely in contention for that top 8 mid. I don't think he'll go in the 120s, but I can see him going 115 quite comfortably. So if you're looking to bring Cripps in, I definitely wouldn't be opposed to it. I think he's got a relatively easy next 4 weeks, so one to definitely consider. Adam Sard, he started off well, sort of drifted a bit late, but the ball wasn't really going down there, not that much anyway. So, Sard I think is a really good option. I think he's pretty safe to be a top 8 defender, and I think, he looks a bit better than Docherty at this point. We'll talk about Docherty in a second. I think that's pretty much all the Carlton relevant players besides Docherty. So Cowan played okay, I thought. He went at 100%. Tom on ground's a bit of an issue for him. And he's just going to be one of those slow cash gen players for us. And same with Hollands. He plays well, but it just doesn't quite translate to Supercoach scoring. 60% efficiency doesn't help. He had the 5 clangers. Probably stopped him from going 70, 80. But yeah, all right, let's talk about big bad Sam Docherty. So I'm going to hold Docherty. Now, I could see why people would trade him, but in my opinion, his price is going to drop so much, it's not even worth it. Anyone that didn't start him, obviously very lucky because he's going to be nice, really nice price. It's sort of a weird position he plays. So when he plays in the CBAs, in the set of bounces, he looks unreal. He looks really good. He tackles with intent. He gets clearances. It seems to slam on his boot just about every time. So it's like everything. It's contested kicking. It's like the perfect Supercoach score instead of doing handballs. But when he's not in the midfield, it's like for some reason he's not quite in the back line either. He's sort of floating in between. And I think when he's floating in between, he just doesn't look quite right. That being said, he did have 39 touches last week, so he knows how to get the ball, obviously. It's weird because last week the problem was the efficiency. I don't know how. He went at 77%. He had a few drop chest marks. I think he's just a little bit down on form generally, to be honest. And it's not someone I want to get rid of because I know the role's there. I know people say the role looks shit. Yeah, he's not getting kick-ins, and yeah, he doesn't even play on from the kick-ins. That's not a good sign at all. But I just think once he moves into that backline position, which should be next week with Walsh coming back, I think he'll go back to that 110, 115 average because what he's going to do, he's going to be in that back pocket when they're doing the kick-ins instead of being at fucking half back. You know what I mean? So right now, when they're kicking it in, it's Newman and Jones in those pockets where usually it will be Docherty. So I think it will go back to being Docherty and he'll get another mark and kick, probably at least one every quarter. And that'll take his score up the next level. And yeah, I think tonight he just had a down game on possessions and very fumbly. He was a bit like that in the first game as well. So I can see why people would trade him. If you really do want to chase points early and you don't have a good feeling about him, trade him. But I just think, you're almost accepting a loss at this point if you trade him. Whereas if you hold him, the upside is still potentially there. And in my opinion, as a Carlton supporter, I think Docherty's potential is still there. And I still think he can be a top 8. Probably not top 6 defender, but I still think he can be a top 8. So, and you got to remember, when you're picking these players and you're trading them out, you're basing not the total average, you're basing the average from when you bring them in or bring them out. So keep that in mind because those points that you've already had or you haven't had, they're gone. Okay? So, yeah, try not to chase points too aggressively. Talk about my team real quick. It's not looking good. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I had a good night last night with Dacos. Should have kept the VC on him in hindsight. But, yeah, went with LDU tonight. And, yeah, 102, it's okay. I'm happy with that. It's not something to write home about, but I'm happy with it. Wilmot and Cowan with somewhat respectable scores, 50. And then McKenna, 86. So it's all right. Tomorrow night, I've got... Who have I got tomorrow night? I'll just jump in a random league real quick. Or tomorrow, I should say. Unique off. So we have... Yeah, so no one from the first game, which is a bit unusual. Bont, straight captain tomorrow, so fingers crossed for that. It's not something I'm really that confident about, to be honest. But, yeah, Bont's my straight C. Taranto and Hopper should go quite well in the wet. I think plenty of contested possessions and plenty of stoppages to be had there. And Liam Jones, probably not the sort of game where he'll play well, but fingers crossed he can pump out at least a 60. And then Witts, Marshall, and Goulden all as well. So pretty big day tomorrow, I should say. And fingers crossed everyone has a good Saturday, Supercoach wise anyway. And hope everyone did alright tonight. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. And I'll see you either tomorrow or the Sunday.